Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back. My name is Megan if you are new, and today we will be cash stuffing January paycheck, I can't talk, number 5. We skipped January paycheck number 4 simply because we just didn't have anything to cash stuff. So that's it for there. Anyways, so usually the 5th paycheck of the month is kind of a free-for-all, if you will, aside from a few bills that I put away on a weekly basis, and groceries, of course. The remainder of the money is usually just for stuffing all the envelopes and really taking advantage of that extra money and putting it towards savings challenges. But we just had a week full of ice, as I'm sure y'all know, and my husband did not work Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of that week. Yesterday was Thursday, today is Friday, and my husband has a dentist appointment today. So next week's paycheck is not going to be very big, which will be the first paycheck of February. So instead of taking advantage of this paycheck and just cash stuffing it like I would normally for a 5th paycheck, I'm going to kind of pretend like this is the first paycheck of February, and go ahead and put away a quarter of next month's bills and cash stuff like I normally would. Since next week's paycheck is going to be teeny tiny, I might not even have enough money to cover all of our bills plus groceries. So I hope that made sense. A normal weekly cash stuffing, instead of what could have been a nice savings challenge stuffing this week. But it is what it is. You can't predict the weather, and if you're stuck at home and you can't get to work, you're stuck at home and can't get to work. So let's count this money up. We have 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 10, 20, 30, 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85. So we have $215, still not a bad amount. There was some overtime on this paycheck this week. So tell me how y'all fared the weather. If you don't know, I am in Texas and around the DFW area, and we definitely got plenty of ice. I know that there were plenty of places that got it worse than us, like Tennessee, but nonetheless, it's still pretty bad out here. We did not lose our power, which was a miracle, because the neighborhood that's right behind us, there's only like 2 acres that separates our property to an entire neighborhood, and that neighborhood I know lost power for a couple of days. Thankfully we are on like a different grid or circuit, or whatever that's called, a much smaller one than the neighborhood. Some of like the original houses on our street that were here before the neighborhood, and I guess that must be an advantage to being on a smaller circuit, and I guess it just didn't go out. So we are very thankful for that, because when we got the big snowstorm back in 2021, we lost power for 5 days, and that was pretty brutal. Anyways, enough ice talk. I think I talked about it in my last video too, because I'm filming back to back. So, okay, let's just get this cash stuffing going. I don't want to make these videos too long. I know people got things to do. So, Auto is getting 10. So now Automotive has 10, 20, and 25. This is something I try to cash stuff weekly because It's just one of those things that we seem to always be spending. We've got older vehicles, 20 plus years. Travel is getting 10. All of our vehicles, 2 of our vehicles are 20 plus years old, and then my husband's project truck is 5 years old. So all right, so travel is getting 10. So now it has 30. So with that, there's always something that needs to be replaced. Family fun is getting 20. We are saving up for a camping trip at the end of March. So now it has 40, which it's not gonna, doesn't cost too much to rent a spot at a state park, but we still gotta get there and buy food and all that kind of stuff. Birthdays is getting 20. So birthdays now has 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 81. Sorry, I was making sure I had that right. That I was supposed to put 20 in here. We're going to skip to blessings, which is getting 5. So blessings, now has 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, and 57. And then lastly, in this binder, we're going to do Costco here, which is getting 20. Costco was crazy yesterday. So now Costco has 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, and 90. I guess it was probably the first day for a lot of people that got out after the ice storm. And I'm thinking, it won't be too bad. Oh no, it was bad. Okay, so the roads, the highways were good to get to a town in, but I did not think about the parking lot. The entire parking lot was covered in snow. So I was really scared. I parked so far away, so I didn't end up having to, accidentally running into somebody or my brakes not work. I've never driven in the ice or snow, so I was a little anxious, a little stressed. All right, let's get into our second binder here. All right, company is getting 20. My sister and her 5 kids want to come over soon. She's having car issues. That must be the thing right now. So, but she wants to come over once she gets all of her stuff fixed and figured out. So this will be spent on like extra groceries. So we now have 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So that'll be an extra 6 mouths to feed for a weekend. And then outdoors is getting 5. So now we have 10, 20, 25, and 30. Parties is getting 5. Snot has 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. So since my February babies want to go camping, we won't be doing that until the end of March, so it can warm up some. We probably still will do something in February for them, just as a family, bowling or something like that. There's this place near us where you can paint your own pottery, and my daughter really wants to do that, so we might do that, just me and her kind of thing, but we'll have to see. Date night is getting 5. So now date night has 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. This always takes forever to build up just because it's not a priority. I wish it was a priority, but it just never seems to end that way. Mommy and me is getting 5. So now Mommy and Me has 5, 10, 15, and 20. And then, let's see, Kitchen is getting 5. I need to buy new beaters for my hand mixer. They, like, the metal, just like, you can see a little rust spot and it just snapped. So Kitchen now has 10, 15, 20, 25. I don't want to buy a whole new mixer. That seems silly. So I just need the beaters. And Chickens is getting 5 this week. So Chickens now has 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. My chickens do not like the snow, but one bird of mine that did love the snow was my female turkey, Jenny. She loved it. She would come out and then all in the snow, ice, and my Tom would reluctantly follow her around and gobble, and it was just so funny, but I could tell he really just wanted to be with her so bad. Dogmix is getting 5, and now we have 5, 10, 15, 20. He's like 3 or 4 years old. This is his first time having a hen. We've only had her for a month, and he is just infatuated. He loves her so much. It is the cutest thing to watch him get all excited. Miscellaneous is getting 5, so now it has 10. He basically struts like 24/7. I kid you not. He is just trying to win her heart so hard. All right, so that is it. Coffee break. Okay, and lastly, just a few savings challenges today. Not as many as the last video. And we're going to do our little spring challenge here, which is just the cutest. 5. Let's see, which ones are we going to do? Let's do, we've already done a bunny, a tulip. Let's do a strawberry, and then we'll do a bee. So I already did my tulip. Red. Let's do maybe a pink. Would that look weird? I don't know. Maybe it won't. Yeah, that looks weird. Oh well, we are going for it. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I got pine berries from Aldi. And they look just like strawberries, except they are like this tan beige color. And kind of where the seeds are, you can see a little like red poking through. I thought they tasted good. Thought they tasted, you know, like strawberries. My kids, on the other hand, were just like, meh. They just didn't need that in their life, I guess. Then let's do our little bee here. Do a couple of their stripes. And I'm not sure where my black Sharpie is. That's weird. We'll do the little head and get these stripes in here. Good enough. Y'all, I just got the cap. Okay, I got it. It was one of those double-ended Sharpies, and I got this cap stuck on that cap. Okay, so we haven't put the money away yet. So that is 5. So now we have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Y'all, I am so sorry. Y'all probably have never heard me talk this much. I've been cooped up for a week in the ice, so I guess I just have a bunch to say. Our 30th challenge is getting 5. We're getting so close to being halfway. So, it's exciting. Alright, so we have 100 in the bank, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'm actually going to take, let me see. I kind of messed up on my denominations earlier. I'm going to take 2 of these 5s, put a 10 here, because that money is going in our 100 envelope challenge, and the fewer bills I can put in that, the better. And I forgot to do that earlier, so whoops, I'll have to go back and kind of exchange some bills out later. And lastly, I feel like we are making some really good progress on our 100 envelope challenge. We put 145 away last video, and then today we are doing 60, so 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60. Yep, that's correct. So it's supposed to be 3 20s, but I completely forgot about that. Let's see. All right, 60 is right here. Well, it's the only one that we've done for this envelope so far, so it'll be all right. So just in the last 2 weeks, we have put away over $200. That's pretty awesome. All right, so that is it for this binder. So that is it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.